colour coordinated today as well, in blue and pink. Looking great, guys. How are things going?
I'm glad you appreciate it, Kay, very much. I love doing a stand-up next to Shaka. It makes me feel...
Can you box?
Yeah, I know I need a box to stand on. However, before you lot start, we met someone today, and what was the first thing they said to me, Shaq?
Oh, you look tall, Dan.
Yes, you're not as short as I thought you'd be.
It's a paid promo. It had to be honestly, I'm still upset about that.
Oh, I'll take that all day. In case you're wondering what's going on, so Real Madrid have just finished training, and what they're doing is that each player is being taken from the training facility to the bus over there via a golf cart, and you've got hundreds of screaming fans who are waiting just to get a glimpse of these players. Some are getting off, some are getting photos and autographs. I think, Shaka, would you get off the cart if it was you?
Dan was just over there. Don't make it sound like, oh, those people over there. You were just there trying to call Jude Bellingham and all sorts.
I was trying to get an interview, Shaq. I was trying to be professional. Yes. That's what I was trying to do here.
To your question, Dan, yes, absolutely I would get off the card because I was a fans player like that.
Oh, really? Yes, exactly. Man of the people, Shaka Hislop, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we were in training. We managed to watch training. Anything catch the eye in particular, Shaq?
I think Jude Bellingham settling pretty quickly. Showing his passing range in the session, the full pitch session that we saw. Anthony Rudiger looks a colossus of a defender, it had to be said. But it's just good to see the pace that those guys play with, why they're as good as they are, why they've won the kind of titles that they have, the preciseness of the passing, the pace of the game, and the physicality of being a Real Madrid player.
Now, of course, a big question mark with Karim Benzema's absence is who is going to come in? Who is going to play that number 9 role? Or will we see a shift of tactics from Ancelotti? How do you think it's going to work early on? Jose Lu is going to come in, but is he going to be a starter in your 11?
No, listen, I think filling Karim Benzema's boots is a tougher order for anybody. And as much as Jose Lu, and that's his position, I think that's beyond him. To put it as bluntly as I possibly can. Ancelotti has floated the prospect of playing a front two in Rodrigo and Vinicius, but if the training session is anything to go by, Vinicius just continues to float out to the left-hand side. So you have this gap in the middle that I'm not sure who fills, in all honesty. There's one name that springs to mind, but given the discussions at the top of the show, I'm not going to mention that name and have anybody go back down that path again.
Do you want to shout at Don like everybody else?
No. I just prefer to leave that entirely.
What a fun game to listen to, though, to be fair. Arda Güler, of course, so much excitement over this youngster. Real Madrid beat Barcelona for his signature. We saw him at training today, and I know you're a big expert when it comes to Turkish League.
Well, Turkish Super League is my thing, Dan. You know that.
But he does look an exciting prospect.
He does. Listen, you understand the excitement around him. Very good with the ball at his feet, very tricky. But of course, they played in the Turkish Super League and only 18 years old. I understand that he still has a lot of growing to do in this game. But this is a very big step up. Okay. And he's got the people around him to help him make that step up. Now, given his talents, given the excitement around him, you would kind of understand if he struggles to start with, but then you look at the progress of Vinicius Jr., given all the hype around him early on, given maybe some of his struggles early on, and how he's established himself, I don't think he could ask for a better mentor in that regard. Speaking of which, in the game this morning, they both play in the same team. They play very close to each other, and that little exchange, and Vinicius, and one of the things that I don't think you appreciate, certainly when you're watching the games and the cameras is following the ball, is how supportive he is of people around him, encouraging, the round of applause when the pass is good, even when it isn't. He's encouraging. He doesn't get down on anybody else. So a joy to play alongside. And if you're Arda Güler, that's exactly who you want to be playing alongside. That's exactly who you want to be looking up to.
Now, we saw Carlo Ancelotti. He took charge of training, and obviously he's renowned as being cool, calm, collected. It's got a little bit prickly over the last couple of days in these press conferences when he's been asked about the Brazil job, which of course he will take over in the summer. How much of a distraction will that be? Because everyone's going to ask him about it all the time.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing for me, because surely he would have expected that. Surely he would have known that everybody, particularly early on and throughout the course of the season, would ask about how he balances things. If Real Madrid go on a poor run, that's the first thing everybody is going to point to. And Carlo Ancelotti has always been able to manage those difficult questions, the difficult press conferences better than any manager in the game. But all of a sudden, you've seen a different side to him in that regard, and that surprised me. The best thing for Carlo Ancelotti and that speculation is for the season to start, for Real Madrid to go on a run, and nobody have any questions about that. Probably the only questions would be, well, do Real Madrid and Florentino Perez want to offer him a longer deal? But as of right now, until that point when the games get going in earnest, he's got to expect that, and I'm a little bit surprised at Ancelotti's response.
So the first game for Real Madrid in this pre-season tour will be on Sunday against AC Milan. That is at the Rose. Me and Shaq, we're going to be there. We'll be pitch side to host the coverage, which is on ESPN at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks so much, Dan. And why would we want to miss these guys pitch side as well for this game, Real Madrid against Milan? It's going to be great to see as well. It's been great to hear from you guys. Hope you've been enjoying it.
Good thing that Dan put down his collar, because in the pre-show he had that collar up, which not the best look for him.
I think something you said that might have just made him put that collar down. I think you shouted at him, wasn't it?
Don's all alone in the hotel room. It's not nice.
Honestly, we spent the first 20 minutes of the show. We spent the first.
I also need a box to stand
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's Dan.
There it is. He's back.
We spent the first 20 minutes of the show arguing, and Robbo said no top manager plays two up front. The boys' graphic there had Rodrigo.
But he won't play two up front. He won't play two up front.
And you've got Shaka backing you up as well, Don.
I love Shaq. I've always liked Shaq. Out of them two, Shaq is my favourite.
Okay, well, the choices are slim.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Wow.
there's not much of him.
Wow, that bar is low. By the way, Shaka forgot his tooth for this trip.
Just leave it, Dan. Just leave it.
How do you forget a tooth?
And Dan, what you have to remember, you said about the buggy, and would Xhaka get off the buggy, he'd have ordered a Maserati to get him from one place to the next, wouldn't he? Yeah.
How'd you forget?
Oh, there it is. There it is. Robbo bingo. There it is.
How'd you forget a tooth?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Poor
ask
Shaka.
Shaka. He's done it before.
Shaka.
It's a repeat offender.
You should ask people if they know who you are, Shaka, and see if you can get any help there. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. Great to hear from you. We'll let you go get some air conditioning.
Busy day today we've got, Kay. Thank you.
Yeah, I can see that. It looks as though Shaka's getting a little bit hot there. So we'll let him go and find some AC.
Hey, Shaka can button up his shirt too, by the way.
They're having an amazing time, aren't they?
They're having a great time.
Little bromance going on there. Brilliant.
A little bromance here, it is fair to say. So make sure to catch that game, Real Madrid against Milan. Just a look at the signings as well. And we're seeing Noah Okafor. It's a player that Pioli had had his eye on for a while, especially because when Milan faced him in the Champions League, he was very impressed by him. And he should have been too. And I tell you what, Milan haven't been doing any bad business this summer, have they?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Okafor's a good signing. I'm interested to see how Christian Pulisic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek do. The size of that football club, I hope the pair of them are a success.
What do you think about it, Robbo?
Yes, I think AC Milan look a better squad with those players that have just come in. I think Pulisic hopefully will show his full potential. He's got to stay injury-free, but there's certainly a place in the side for him. And if he gets regular football, I think he'll be a very good signing for AC Milan.
Meanwhile, a lot of talk about Chukwueze as well. And it's obviously with the money that's being put out there, you understand Villarreal, when there's just a year left on his contract, making money on this player while they can.
Yes and no. Because Chukwueze is one of the few players, I think, for Villarreal that are difference makers. And you already lost Nicholas Jackson. And so you're dependent very heavily on Gerard Moreno, and that's about it. In terms of attacking player, maybe Jeremy Pino gives you something, but Chukwueze, at his best, can make people look silly, which he has done and did against Real Madrid last season. It's a player that on his day is talented, productive, explosive, and dynamic. The issue is that his day is not every day. In fact, it happens very seldom. It's a player that shows up 1 week and it's another 3 weeks for him to play at his very best. And so that's why I think Villarreal look at this and say, you know what? I think we got the most that we could get out of Chukwueze, or the most that he was willing to give us. Let's get some money for him and try to reinvest that somewhere else. But in terms of talent, on his best day, Chukwueze is a really good player.
I mean, potentially, if Milan got Chukwueze and you got Rafa Leao on the other side, that is two very, very exciting wingers.
Would he be a concern for you with what Ale's saying?
In terms of Chukwueze, yeah, absolutely, because he doesn't always play for Villarreal. He's not in the team week in, week out. And the manager must think, well, I can't trust him. But as Ali said, when he gets in 1v1 situations, particularly he's playing on the right-hand side with that left foot, he can chop it both ways, he can get shots away, he's a good crosser of the ball, but he doesn't do it every week, and that's always a worry.
Yeah, of course it is. But make sure to catch that friendly game between Real Madrid and Milan. And of course, you'll see Shaki Hislop and Dan Thomas pitch side for it as well. It's on ESPN and ESPN Plus. You can catch it from 10 Eastern on Sunday.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.